The great Corn Raymond out of Toronto. This song's been made popular with people like Dustin Bento, Lindy Ortega, and Blue Rodeo, and that's one of my favorite songs. And it feels appropriate to play it in Fort Alberni. This waitress I knew in Port Alberni, she was a wildflower, her name was Nadine. Oh, I guess every one of my friends in that valley was stoned and crazy. It's a good thing I got out of that scene, 'cause I love getting high and on top when I'm stoned, just like right now, like I'm talking to you. Oh, I did 3,000 miles in a Greyhound alone. I got 3,000 miles left to do. I was 4 days in jail, and every morning I called my mother as she hung up the phone. I was sicker than a dog, and that was my farewell. 4 days in a city cell, yeah, I've done Christmas in jail, 'cause I love getting high and on top when I'm stoned, just like right now, while I'm talking to you. Oh, I did 3,000 miles in a Greyhound alone. I got 3,000 miles left to do. Well, I was crazy to buy that old black Chevy. I can't even drive it until my license is good. But come the end of July, it's my last court day. Can't wait to celebrate. Stop by and do a line on the hood, 'cause I love getting high and on top when I'm stoned, just like right now, I'm talking to you. Oh, I did 3,000 miles in a Greyhound alone. I got 3,000 miles left to do. So once upon a time I rode the Greyhound bus from Calgary, Alberta to New York City to Nashville, Tennessee,
Whoa.
and all the way back.
Whoa.
I wouldn't recommend that to anyone.
Was it successful?
It was, I mean, I made it from point A to point B to point C to point D. That's successful. But I realized about 6 hours into the trip was a bad idea.
Did you have a plan for Nashville? I guess you did.
Yeah, I had a guitar in my hand and a suitcase, and that's where dreams come true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even supposed to go to New York. But I met these pretty girls, these pretty Australian girls, like, yeah, you should come visit us in New York. And I looked on the map, and the dots look pretty close together. Those things can be deceptive. let me
As
tell
they
you.
do, yeah.
Took me 3 days and 3 nights just to get from Calgary to New York.
Wow.
And I was going through North Dakota. It was right about that time I realized this was a bad idea. And I was trying not to talk to anybody. And I had a seat to myself, and this rather large man sat down next to me. And after about 10 minutes, he looked at me and said, "Man, this feels weird." I said, "Well, what feels weird?" He said, "Well, being out." I said, "Being out?" He said, "Being out of prison."
Oh.
And I thought to myself, don't ask him what he's in prison for. Don't ask him what he's in prison for. But I'm a curious individual and I'm a songwriter, so guess what came out of my mouth? "What were you in prison for, sir?" And he's like, "Well, I stabbed my brother." So I'd ride next to that guy in silence for the next 9 hours. Then I got to New York City. It was 6:30 in the morning. I had a guitar and a suitcase. obviously I couldn't call the Australian girls that I was going to meet at 6:30 in the morning. Feeling kind of sorry for myself, feeling kind of stupid. So I walked around Times Square till 9 a.m. until the pub opened up. And I walked in this pub and there was an old man sitting at the bar and the bartender. We had this really long conversation about baseball. I know nothing about baseball, but I talk so much. Then we talked about the gentrification of certain New York neighborhoods, which I also know nothing about, but I talk so much. Then I was feeling better about myself. And then I got in a cab and I said, take me to a cheap hotel in Manhattan. He said, that doesn't exist. I said, okay, well, take me to a really, really nice hotel in a really scary neighborhood. And he took me to Queens, and that was exactly that.
Wow.
And I ended up having a good time in New York. I had a better time in Nashville. I've been back there quite a few times. It's been kind of second home for me. So I've always related to this song about riding the Greyhound bus.
Aw.
A guy in BC, in Blue River, BC, told me that he likes to call riding the Greyhound bus dogging it. I like that terminology. Well, I left that town just like the scene of a crime, and if I ever go back, settle down, I'll take that bus back out west, find me an old lady. I always figured by 30 I'd stop smoking dope and screwing around, 'cause I love getting high and I top